बहुत अच्छा लगता है. The guitar behind me. Guitar behind you.
Have you heard about Gabbar Singh?
Gabbar Singh.
Gabbar.
Dishum dishum. You just said it all. You
Sholay. Yes.
Sholay. You mean from Kitne Aadmi Thi, correct?
Hey.
I just need a role in Rasna's next film. That's the goal here.
Hello and welcome. This is Rachna Rawat and you are watching Silvata.com. Today we are in a conversation with a great actor and a great musician, Alex O'Neill. Hello, Alex.
Dhanyavad.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
How are you? How are you doing these days?
बढ़िया. मैं अभी मैं नेदरलैंड्स हूँ तो मैं इधर रहता हूँ और उधर भी लोकंडोला में तो it's nice to be here because it's nice and sunny and there's no lockdown, so that's a plus. But I'm always thinking of my friends, my loved ones in Mumbai, and hoping that everyone is well and hoping that the situation gets better soon.
Yes, of course. Well, I have to say, your Hindi is just mind-blowing. It's so perfect. आप कितना अच्छा बोल रहे हैं?
और आर्य में संस्कृत बोलता हूँ, तो आर्य देखिए.
Wow, it's surprising.
थोड़ा अजीब है क्योंकि I look like this and I'm speaking in Sanskrit, but it's one of the surprises that you'll see in Arya. It's a beautiful series. I'm incredibly excited about it, and we'll talk about it more in a moment, I'm sure. But yeah, one of the surprises is you get to see Bob Wilson saying Yainam Veti Hantaram Yashainam Manyate Atam. I know it's थोड़ा अजीब लगता है, मुझे मालूम है.
I'm glib. I don't know what I have to say. मैं क्या कहूँ? मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है. It's amazing, really good to know. First of all, congratulations for your successful journey in Bollywood, and of course your power pack upcoming series are. So, Alex, you have appeared in over 30 films and series. How was the experience as an actor working in industry?
Well, there's two sides to this. There's as an actor, and then there's, I don't know, as a part of the glamour industry. So as a part of the glamour industry, it's been phenomenal. I've gotten to work with some of India's biggest superstars, from Amitabh Bachchan, who I delivered my first dialogues to in Chinikam in 2007. Kima bare salim mork kupulao. So that was an experience to begin my career with in Indian cinema. Obviously, before that, I did 10 years of theater in the US as well as television. So I got my start on stage. But over these past dozen years or so, in 30 films and series, you know, I've worked with Mammootty in 2 films in the South. Amy Jackson and I did her first film, which was called Madrasa Patnam. I've worked with Rajkumar Rao now 3 times. We have our 3rd project coming out. It's called Ruhi Apsa. So that's also with Varun Sharma and Janvi Kapoor. So yeah, working with Rajkumar has been awesome. And then obviously, you know, everyone from Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Manoj Bajpayee and Chittagong, Barry John, Akshay Kumar and Joker. So I mean, we can sit here all day and I'll just have a long list. But now the first part of the question, the first part of the answer, as an actor, I felt that I've really grown over these 12 or so years working in Indian cinema and series, and I've worked in Malayalam, Tamil, Portuguese, Hindi, English, Marathi, Bengali. So it's been a very diverse journey. But also, I think that you know, one interesting thing happened when I started shooting my first feature films. We were shooting on film camera, and if you know about how shooting works, on a film camera, when you hear action, you hear it's the sound of the film moving in the camera. Now on my 3rd film, everything switched, because with digital cameras, it's you hear that noise because it's the cooling, and then as soon as you hear action, it's silent. So you're kind of waiting for that whirling sound, but it never comes, because with digital cameras, they're completely quiet. Now, an interesting similar thing happened when I started working with Ram Madhvani. There is no action with Ram Madhvani. He never says action. He and his directors always say, Okay, we're ready for you. Or as soon as your heart tells you, or something like that, which basically tells you that the team is ready to capture the moment. And that was a huge thing to get used to. It kind of brought me back to my years in theater, where you're always in character, you're always ready for the moment. And that was a learning experience that certainly took me a moment to get used to. But I think I think when you see Arya, just like when you see Nirja, it's a completely different experience. The movement of the camera, the way the cameras are kind of always in motion. A very interesting journey from Chinikam through Arya, and the journey has only begun.
Yes, bilkul. Okay, let's go towards Arya again. I saw the trailer. It was super. And the dialogue bazi in the trailer was amazing. Kis tarike se, So I want to know that how did you get the role and what happened when you get it?
How did I get the role? So I was actually Abhimanyu casting. Abhimanyu Ray is probably one of the best. Okay, I'm not going to say probably. He is the best casting director in India. He works on amazing projects, and you don't go and meet Abhimanyu without being prepared. You prepare, because you're going to get one shot. He knows exactly what he wants, and he directs you. He's a director. He's not just a casting director, he's a director. So he's going to say, well, okay, that was all right, but can you give me this? So I went and met Abhimanyu when we were talking about a completely different film entirely. It's a John Abraham star. It's still going to happen, but it's not quite in production yet. Everything is on hold. I've got 4 films that are ready to release. All of them are on hold because of this lockdown. So it's an absolute joy that we're talking about Arya, which, totally different story, was completed from all of our homes, dubbed from all of our homes over the past few weeks. I dubbed in Lokhandwala, then in quarantine in Amsterdam, and then from here in my home in Kaplai Gamze. So a lot of work went into this during the lockdown. But yeah, I met with Abhimanyu about a completely different project, and he called me back a couple of weeks later, and he said, we have another interesting project that we're working on. And he and I connected on the fact that we're both musicians. The guitar behind me, the guitar behind you. And he has guitars in his office, right? So we were chatting about guitars, we were chatting about music, we were chatting about Amsterdam. He's been to Amsterdam, he loves Amsterdam. And so a couple of weeks later, he calls me up and he says, it's a role, and he's also a musician. And I was like, I need to get this role. Never before have I had the opportunity to perform as a musician, in character as a musician. So this is the first project that binds music and acting for me. After all these years, all the years in theater, all the years in film and television and series, it's never happened before. So I knew I needed this role. So I went in and we went through a few scenes. When you watch Arya, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. We actually we tested the most uncomfortable scenes that there are in the series for Bob. So you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. This is probably the most organized project I've ever worked on, from the moment it was presented to me to the moment it was completed, despite the fact that it was completed in the lockdown.
Well, I don't know about others, but I am very excited for Arya.
I've never been more excited about a project in my life. And I mark my words, this is releasing in Singapore, it's releasing in the US, the UK, and India. Just like there have been a handful of films that have put Indian cinema on the global map, this is going to put Indian digital content on the global map. This is adapted from a Dutch series, a very, very popular Dutch series called Penosa. It also is inspired by the American, classic, The Godfather. So the inspiration for this has come from so many places. It's now been Indianized. It's been obviously changed. It's metamorphosized into something completely different. And now from India, it's going to be put out to the rest of the world. This is going to be, mark my words, with the backing of Disney and all of the amazing things that have come together on this project. This is going to put Indian digital content on the world stage.
Okay, your role of Bob Wilson is a surprise element of this web series, right? Please explain about your role and Bhagavad Gita के बारे में भी you have done something, right? So tell us about everything.
Bilkul. So Bob Wilson, the surprise element. So people have asked me, well, why is it being talked about as the surprise element? Well, there's two surprises here. One is you're going to see a character that you've never seen before. I will be, for the rest of my life, indebted to Ram Madhvani for trusting me with Bob Wilson, who's a musician and an interesting guy, but also trusting me with the Bhagavad Gita in India. It's almost like going to Rome and performing the Holy Bible in Latin in front of the Pope. That's how I feel. An American guy, a white guy, coming to India and performing the Bhagavad Gita for India is a bit terrifying. But Ram trusted me to do it, and I will be forever grateful and indebted for his trust, for his confidence. And I'm a little worried that people are going to pounce on my pronunciation. Vinod Rawat, one of the other directors. So there's actually three directors. There's Vinod Rawat, Sandeep Modi, and Ram Madhvani. And Vinod Rawat was the one who, over the span of this series, really pounded away at my pronunciation. And I'm so thankful for that. He brought the energy that I needed to focus and get it right. So it is my voice. It is not being dubbed. So all of the criticism is mine to own. But I am, as I mentioned, not just a bit nervous, but incredibly thankful for that. So to have been trusted with the Bhagavad Gita, amazing. I recite it in my sleep, as I did a moment ago. Yainam vedi antaram, yaschainam manyate hatam, obhatau navajanito, nayam hanti nahanyate. So anyway, and that's actually a very, very important shloka from the Gita, because it's kind of at the center of this series. So the interesting thing Ram has done is he's taken inspiration from The Godfather, he's taken inspiration from Spinoza, but he's given Arya a foundation in the Bhagavad Gita. And the one character that's presenting the Bhagavad Gita to an Indian family, in this case, is an American musician who adapts the Gita to music. So this character is so dynamic. This character is so central to the story. And he's a surprise because you have not been introduced to him yet in the series. So obviously, the series has been touted as a crime thriller, a crime drama. The series begins with the marriage of Bob to Saundarya, his Arya's sister. So that's how you're introduced to the entire family. But as time goes on, Bob's world and Arya's world, they meet, they collide until in a moment they smash into each other in an indescribable tragedy. And you'll see this as the series plays out. And in that moment, Bob has been changing over time, but in that moment, he changes with a snap. And what he does is something that you could not have imagined. This Gita-loving, kind musician doing. So I think the surprise element is the fact that Bob is who he is. The surprise element is that Bob does what he does. And the surprise element is that Bob changes the way he changes. So
this is something very interesting. It's amazing, really. Okay, Sushmita Sen and Chandrastoop have worked with them.
Yeah.
How was the experience with them?
How does it feel to work with them?
Yeah, how was the experience?
Oh, I've been asked in a previous conversation, what do I like more, Sushmita Sen's on-screen personality or her real-life personality? And it's funny, whether it's Sushmita or Chandrachur, knowing them on and off screen, I can tell you they're two of the most honest, what you see is what you get people, They're not putting on an air of celebrity. They're not pretending to be interested. They genuinely are. They're very kind, very supportive, very sweet people who have seen, massive challenges, huge success. And I think that both of those things have made them the way that they are. And the way that they are is incredibly supportive. In Chermu Palace in Rajasthan, in Jaipur, outside Jaipur, when we were shooting, we were living there. So in the day we were shooting, or sometimes in the evening we were shooting, and then in the night we were eating together, laughing together, singing together. Chandrachud is a wonderful singer. So we actually met years before when we were jamming together, playing guitar in my
all the stars on in Instagram, right?
Yes, yeah. So you know, it was a beautiful experience working with them.
Wow. Okay, what do you like about Bollywood? Like dance, music, romance, anger, or dishum action type couple?
Dishum. You just said it all. You just said everything I love about the industry. You know, there's so many things to love. As you know, I did Naach Baliye in 2007, so I certainly got my dancing on. I have danced in films since then, but I don't dance that much. I remember I was shooting Joker. That was me, Akshay Kumar, Sonakshi Sinha, and I was supposed to dance in a sequence, and I just remember, oh no, it's not my hard work that's going to go into this. It's really the choreographer that's going to make me dance, because I'm willing to do anything. Even if I look like a fool, that's fine. But someone's got to put all that hard work into making me look okay. So the dancing, the over-the-top nature of it, all of these are wonderful. You know, and I've done quintessential Bollywood films, but to be honest, the ones that I'm most proud of, like Mayor Charles, that was me, Randeep Hooda, Richa Chadha, Adil Hussain. That very real feel was so much appreciated by the audience. Films like that, films like Chittagong, once again, with Manoj Bajpayee, Barry John, Rajkumar Rao. I really feel a much stronger connection to these movies. Don't get me wrong, I love doing masala films. Absolutely, they're fun, but they're a different universe entirely. And Arya is not one of those. Arya is not a masala project. Arya is not a song and dance project. Arya is deep. Arya is rooted in the Bhagavad Gita. It's rooted in Indian culture. It's rooted in the way that you may love someone and hate certain parts of them. That is how this project is constructed.
Okay, so you liked Bollywood, so we will play a game. Are you ready?
That was a trick question. You were just leading into this. All right. Okay. What is the game?
Okay, so what you have to do is, I will give you a dialogue, and you have to define it in 5 different shades.
Oh,
like smiley face.
It better be a short dialogue, because
it's a short. It is a short. Okay. So, have you heard about Gabbar Singh?
Gabbar Singh. You mean from
Sholay? Yes. Okay, छोटू सा डायलॉग है. कितने आदमी थे?
कितने आदमी थे?
Yes.
But I want. Okay. You know what? You're gonna play this with me. You're gonna do it first, then I'm gonna do it after you. No one else has ever made you play your own game until today, but now is the day when you have to do it with me. Okay. So smiley version. You're up first.
Okay. Okay. Me first. Okay. With a smiley face. Okay.
Smiley.
कितने आदमी थे?
कितने आदमी थे?
Perfect. Okay, but now sad face. Green. Perfect, yeah. Okay.
Am I hired yet, or are we still?
No, you were very good.
Okay, I need to keep. Okay, I just need a role in Rasna's next film. That's the goal here.
Okay, now the third one is angry face. कितने आदमी थे?
कितने आदमी थे?
मैं डर गई यार.
We're being socially distant. We've got 7,000 kilometers between us, so don't be afraid.
Okay, now poker face. It's a blank. कितने आदमी थे?
कितने आदमी थे?
You got the point.
I'm gonna jump in really quickly. A very interesting story. This is actually how we've worked dialogues in many films I've worked on, because you need to start from completely just reading it before you insert emotion and meaning. So I'm very used to that blank face. Hopefully people won't say that's similar to my acting. All right, next.
Okay, now the last one is funny face. It was amazing. Clap for ourselves.
You know what?
That was an amazing one.
My good luck is that the screen didn't just freeze on that last space, and you could have kind of used that as the freeze frame for the entire interview. Well, I'm glad it didn't freeze there. Knowing my luck, it might have. Maybe my luck has turned around.
Okay, Alex. Thank you so much for हमसे बात करने के लिए, और all the best for your future. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Rachna. It's been my pleasure.